Welcome once again to another edition of Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Bright Raven, 29-year veteran writer, illustrator, and editor of comics, science fiction, fantasy, horror, and role-playing games. And my camera's slightly off here. Let's see if I can get this to... Alright. Sorry about that, folks. Hopefully... Oh! The Midnight Monster wants to show himself. Maybe. He's thinking about attacking me from the side. You gonna get up here? You gonna get up here? No, he doesn't want up. What he wants is me to go feed him, which I forgot to do before the show, but that's, oh well. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get into things. Today is a what did you get this week day. I didn't get a whole lot this week, unfortunately. It's kind of a small week through Diamond. Of course, if Diamond actually shipped all the stuff that I ordered that is on back order, I'd have some stuff to talk about. But let's go ahead and talk about what we did get. Batman: The Adventures Continue Season 2, Number 6 for $3.99. Publisher DC Comics. Writers Alan Burnett and Paul Dini. Art by Rick Burkett. Colors by Monica Cabina. Letterer Josh Reed. The cover artist is Jorge Fornes. The genre is superhero action-adventure, released November 2nd, 2021. What it's about, former Mayor Mayfield's influence over Gotham grows as his campaign picks up speed. As Batman and his team investigate where Mayfield has been, Batgirl decides to infiltrate the campaign herself as Barbara Gordon. How is Mayfield charming his way around Gotham, and why are clues pointing to Arkham Asylum? Quite the interesting reveals throughout the issue. Great story, great pacing. The only thing I wonder is what went wrong with the coloring in this issue. It's way too dark. I'm guessing that it was a production issue because this is not usually a problem. I mean, I have mentioned that the color gets dark once in a while, but not like this. It's not like Monica Cabina, the colorist, isn't the regular colorist on this book and doesn't know how to do her job. Maybe they got a new monitor and forgot to calibrate it to spec, so there was a ref shift to a darker scale. I don't know. Either way, I found the coloring to be way too dark in this issue, and that's why it's a 4 out of 5 instead of a 4.5 out of 5. But it is recommended for ages 13 up, 4 stars. And here's some of the art. And this is brightened up. And you can see just how kind of dark this all is. It's actually darker in the actual comic than this. So it's a little bit ridiculous that the colors are that dark. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. But other than that, art's fine. The line art is fine. And really the colors aren't bad. It's just, dark. And I wish that they weren't that dark. But other than that, good issue. Next book, CAMPISI, The Dragon Incident, number 3 for $4.99. Publishers Aftershock Comics. The writer is James Patrick. Art by Marco Licati. Cover by Fran Galan. Lettering by Rachel Deering. Genre is postmodern fantasy. Released November 3rd, 2021. What it's about. Sonny Campisi is learning that dragons are a pain in the keister. You can't fool them, you can't bribe them, and you can't kick their teeth in. On top of that, he has to stop some of the neighborhood idiots from trying to take care of the problem themselves. And then, when Sonny's mob boss, Mr. Rossi, is growing very impatient with the dragon situation and is about to make a very poor decision. If he can't manage every single problem, the neighborhood he grew up might be burned to the ground. What do I think? Well, I can't say Sonny isn't a practical individual. And of course, he does a smart thing. He makes all the arrangements, tries to make things settled so that we can have everybody gets what they want and nobody gets hurt. Only to have his greedy prick of a mob boss completely crap all over the arrangement he's made and attack the dragon with a SWAT team. Now the village has been burned. People are injured and dead, including the father of one of Sonny's teenage friends who trusts him. So right now they're kind of like at odd ends at the end, and that kind of like really ticks Sonny off. So now the question is, who is Sonny CAMPISI going to have to kill to make this right? Probably the mob boss, I hope. But we'll see. It's a pretty solid issue all around. The art feels a little bit looser than it did in previous issues to me, but I don't have time to compare them, so I could be wrong about that. It's well paced, well written. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this turn up adapted to a TV series for some paid channel like Netflix or Amazon. Recommended for ages 16 and up. Rating 3.5 stars. The cover art here is so much dramatically different, and some people are going to say a lot better than the interior art, but it is what it is. Here is some of the interior artwork. This is Sonny talking to the dragon, explaining the situation. The dragon wants the last son of a certain bloodline that their entire bloodline destroyed all the dragons. He's the last dragon, and he's like, "Yeah, I got some good news and some bad news. The good news is I know where the hell the jerk is. The bad news is I can't legally give him to you, and this is why." And he explains why. And the dragon is like, "Really? You're going by rules now when you didn't go by rules before?" He's like, "Yeah, well, we try to learn from our mistakes and stuff, but give me a chance here, and I'll see, go do this and take care of that, and maybe if you do that, we can, make them come to compromise and agree." And the dragon's like, "Hell no, I've waited too long for this. Do it my way or else." So somebody's like, "Well, that didn't work, so I guess I got to go make some other arrangement." So he goes out of town to make the arrangements. He's on his way back, and of course, the mob boss does what he does. But it is what it is. And it's not a bad story at all. Like I said, I could very easily see this getting made into a miniseries for Netflix or Amazon or Hulu or something like that. Next book, Last Flight Out, number 3 of 6, $3.99. Publisher is Dark Horse. Writer is Mark Guggenheim. Artist is Eduardo Ferragamo, with colors by Natalia Marquez. She's new to the series. Lettering by Diego Sanchez. Genre, apocalyptic science fiction. Released November 3rd, 2021. What it's about. Ben K. Wood's mission to save his daughter before the world ends has taken an unexpected turn when Ben finds out that the man she loves is being held captive in the most dangerous place left on Earth and threatens the already shaky alliance he's formed with the military. They've already lost part of their force just getting to his daughter, and now with their minimal resources and manpower, they're supposed to go rescue another person? Gee, I wonder why they used this image for the cover. Okay, at least his daughter has a reason to tell her father to F the H off, and that doesn't have to do with him being a complete absentee father her entire life, although that's part of it. Her boyfriend and his former protege has been kidnapped by the local warlord. And okay, K. Wood does the right thing sort of by blackmailing the leader of what's left of his military escort to do his bidding and go try to rescue him. But I can't help but feel this is entirely a filler issue, making an extra side quest for, well, this new character had better actually be worth it when we get to him is all I can say. The backstory on him doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot to me. He better have some value to the story in terms of saving the planet or something legitimately moving forward. Because ultimately, it seems pretty damn obvious that these people aren't making it back to the ship to depart from the planet before the planet destroys itself at this point. Frankly, if I were the military guys, I'd just shoot both people, both K-Woods, and say, "Screw it, we failed. We got to get back to the ship." That's what I would have done by now. That's how bad this thing's going. But, that's just me. Recommended for ages 16 up. I give it 2 out of 5, mostly because the story is just so convoluted. Art's fine. It's just, story is eh. Our next book is Orphan and the Five Beasts from number 3. I think this might be of 5 issues. Publisher is Dark Horse, $3.99. Creator is James Stalko. Genre is Japanese mythos fantasy, released November 3rd, 2021. What's about? Well, seeing as how the last issue came out way back in April, I guess I better give you a full series recap. Spurred on by her master's dying words, the adoptive warrior Orphan Mo seeks to find and kill the 5 of his former disciples who now threaten the land with corruption from their demonic powers. This is part 5, Deadly Venoms, and part surreal grindhouse with Stoko bringing his knack for ultra-detailed fantasy imagery and over-the-top violence to this classic tale of revenge. So far, she's taken on the first big bad, Thunder Thighs, and defeated him last issue, which gained her the allies of the Mountain Bandits that he ruled over, who now serve her will. Now they reach a town where the population is all but deserted and her company is famished, so she takes them to a inn to dine, but 2 of her crew smell better food, and they tell her that they're going to, search around the place instead of eat with them. And they head for the other restaurant where they find everybody in town fighting each other for service and food. While the duo realize that something isn't right, they succumb to temptation, eat the food, and become magically enslaved themselves. Meanwhile, Mo realizes that it's odd that the inn that she and her men are eating at is empty, and it's explained why. Well, she's a vegan, so she's not tempted by the smell of meat. She doesn't even, it just completely ignores, something she just, it's there, but I don't want it. When she realizes her 2 men have not returned to her, though, she realizes that she needs to go head to the other restaurant and then finds the situation, realizes that the meat being served is either human or demon flesh or both, and that the cook is either one of the beasts or their servant. Mostly I'm wondering why it took so long for this issue to come out. Having been over 6 months since the last one, I'd largely forgotten this series even was around. The issue's fine, but after that long of a wait, whatever enthusiasm I had for this series has significantly waned. I was giving this series 4 to 4.5 stars 6 months ago. 6-7 months ago when it first came out. Now I'm kind of over it. I'm just meh. I don't understand the delay there. If this book had been out on last year, and we had the delay from the initial delay of the outbreak, I'd understand. And yes, I realize that Stoko's art is highly detailed in style, and he takes longer than most other artists out there. But when a publisher's going to learn that you have to have your entire miniseries in-house before you solicit it? That's what you do if you're smart. Like I said, it's a fine enough issue. I've just lost interest in the series due to the extended period between issues. And it probably didn't help that there's very little action, really, action going on in this issue, and it's kind of boring compared to the 2 previous issues. And with only 2 issues to go and still having 4 demons for her to defeat, the writer or the creator's going to have to really pick up his pacing the next 2 issues to get this thing done in 2 issues. Recommended for ages 16 and up, and I give it 3 out of 5 stars. And Pop Culture says, "Hey, Raven and Midnight, how you doing? Didn't see your sign in there. Your hello." And I don't know if you came in after he was messing around trying to get on here, but he's left now. He's annoyed with me. But I don't know where he's at now, but I think he went downstairs. He wants his dinner. It's getting dark these days, earlier, and he goes by sun time when it's dinner time for him. It's dark. Feed me. So anyway, that's it for the thing for the most part. But let me show you the quick art there. Mo goes in after she realizes what's going on. It's people! It's people meat! Stop running and run! It's Soylent Green! Yeah. So, it's like that was kind of funny there. But anyway, that's pretty much our show for today. Not a whole lot going on, unfortunately. I also did get Hidden Metal this week, but I didn't get a chance to read it, so I haven't reviewed it. I'll review that next time. Tomorrow, 2 p.m., will be our next show, and that will be a live draw. And I guess what I'll do is I'll be inking that jam piece I started on Halloween day, and some other artwork as well. That'll be tomorrow at 2 p.m. And then Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll have our weekend TV movie discussion. It'll be a science fiction themed week. The films that we'll be discussing are Lathe of Heaven, Robinson Crusoe on Mars, and What the Bleep Do We Know? And that is the actual name of the movie. There might be a couple other films in there as well, but definitely those three will be talked about. Pop Culture asks, have you tried that horror mag Shudder? No, I don't. I'm not familiar with it. I'm not familiar with that one at all, unfortunately. Let me take a quick look online if I can. Okay. This looks like it's a reprint magazine. Or no, it says it's publishing classically styled work by original Warren artists, which I'd find very hard to believe because a lot of the original Warren artists and writers and editors aren't even with us anymore. So how could it be new work if they're dead? That makes you shudder to think, doesn't it? But it does look like the classics. Okay. Well, have you seen? Do you have a copy of it? I mean, if it looks like the old classics of the eerie, creepy type stuff, that's cool. But I mean, is it the same artists really, or is it just new artists that are doing that style? Because there's artists who do that style around in modern time. People like Mike Hoffman really are into that creepy style, magazine style, and then I could see Chris Kohler doing that kind of work too. So okay, well, is it like an oversized mat? Well, not oversized, but is it the same size as Creepy and that as well? Magazine size, not comic size? Because I'm not familiar with this at all. It looks like it's a larger size piece. And it says it was in shops back in September of 2021, but it also says December 2021 on the cover. So is this something that actually... When did this actually come out? Kelly Jones. Okay, well, Kelly Jones is all right, and John Glut. Okay, well, all right, that's interesting. That's number 2 cover. Interesting. I'll have to look into this. Jeff Jones, Don Glut. Interesting. Don Glut's the editor. Okay. It's on issue 3 now. All right. I'll have to look into it. I was not familiar with that one. I probably just missed it in the Diamond catalog, but I'll see what I can do about checking that out. Thank you for bringing it up to my attention, Pop. That pretty much covers things for today, though. And so I will see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. for the live draw. And like I said, we'll finish up. We'll do the inks on that. There we go. We'll do the inks on this jam piece, which has Hellboy and werewolves and Terminators and vampires and mummies and witches and zombies. Oh my! And it's $5.95. Yeah, well, no, it's probably reasonable price. I have no problem with that. So I'll check it out if I can find it. But again, thank you for bringing it up. And yeah, you take care too. Thanks for stopping in, and thanks everyone else for watching as always. If you've enjoyed watching this episode, or you think someone else might, I appreciate it. If you hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons to continue to get content from this channel. As always, I thank you for watching and for your support. If you want to reach out to me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Lewis.Brightraven, at Twitter at LewisBrightRave2. You can see some of my artwork at deviantart.com/BrightRaven. You've been watching Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven exclusively on YouTube. If you have questions, comments, recommendations for topics that you want me to discuss in future episodes, you want to commission artwork, Quoth the Raven LBR72@gmail.com is the address to reach out to me. And if I don't get back to you in a day or so, try LewisBrightRaven@yahoo.com. That is all for now. Have a great day. We'll see you next time, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good one.